Hi everyone, welcome to another Living Waters Community Group session. Today we've been looking at the question of what is the most daring adventure you've done? What is the most daring thing you've done? I'm quite an outdoors person, so when I think about it, there's actually been quite a few daring things I've done. Like climbing Half Dome in Yosemite National Park. The last kind of half a mile of that is up a very sheer rock face where you've got ropes and these little bits of wood to just help you go up this nearly vertical rock face. And for someone who's scared of heights, like I am, that's kind of scary. Another daring thing I've done is whitewater rafting, in particular on the White Salmon, not too far from here. And on the White Salmon there is a 12-foot waterfall called Husum Falls. And going over that in a raft, I just remember thinking, oh, I hope we don't flip over. Because when whitewater raft flips on that stuff, that's 6 people in the water, not in the boat. But it was great fun and we made it over. And just as you and I have stories about being daring, so there's stories about Jesus' disciples being daring in the Gospels. And there's one in particular that comes to mind. That's the story where Jesus wants to go off to pray on a hillside. So he goes off and he sends his 12 disciples across the lake on a boat. And during the middle of the night, Jesus starts walking across the water towards the disciples, and they are terrified. They think it's a ghost. And Jesus says, "Don't fear, it's only me." And Peter says, "Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come out on the water to you." And Jesus just says, "Come." So Peter gets out of the boat. And he starts being able to walk on water. And he starts taking steps towards Jesus across the water. But then Peter stops focusing on Jesus. He starts looking at what's going on around him, at the wind and the waves, and he gets scared and he starts to sink into the water, and he cries out, "Lord, save me." And Jesus is right there, his hand reaching out to grab Peter and pull him to safety. And he goes, "You have little faith. Why did you doubt?" And so Jesus and Peter make their way back to the boat, and they get to the boat, and the disciples fall before Jesus and just like, "You truly are the Son of God." So Peter did something daring, something that took faith and belief, and others might question, that others might consider a slightly stupid thing to do. You don't get out of a boat and expect to walk on water. Most people would have stayed on the boat. John Ortberg, who is a pastor in Chicago, coined this brilliantly in the title of his book, which is called, "If You Want to Walk on Water, You've Got to Get Out of the Boat." So, in short, if you want to see great things happening, if you want to see yourself walking on the water, it's about having that faith, having that daring to get out of the boat and start living in faith. So I hope you enjoy discussing this story during a session and having a discussion about how it relates to your lives and your circumstances. So have a good discussion. Goodbye and God bless.